All right, Chargers. I'm going to slow this down. We're into actually Chapter 7, Section 5 in the Big Ideas textbook. And we're going to learn how to factor a polynomial. And so you see that relationship right here, okay? What we're talking about is how do we go from this polynomial and knowing that it came from this problem right here, x plus 1 times x plus 5. And you guys probably know that this leads to what you have on the left, x squared plus 6x plus 5. We've worked with those kinds of problems in the past. X plus 1, right, times x plus 5. And so we've done this enough to know that I'm going to use the distributive property. I'm going to multiply x times everything on the right. So x times x is x squared. X times 5 is a positive 5x. And then we'll switch up colors here, and then we'll distribute this 1 times everything over here. 1 times the x is x, and 1 times the 5 is 5. And so if you put that all together, you get x squared. You're going to add these two together or combine them, plus 6x plus 5. Well, we know what that came from. It came from the product of x plus 1 times x plus 5. But let's pretend we didn't know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go backwards. We're going to take the x squared plus 6x plus 5, and I'm going to try to teach you how you go from this to its factored form. In other words, how do you undo what we just did together? How do we figure out what two binomials were multiplied together to get x squared plus 6x plus 5? And so I'm going to take you through a process here. The question is, what two binomials did we multiply together to get x squared plus 6x plus 5? So there's a couple areas that I want us to focus on. Right now, we need to decide what the first term is, or the first number that goes in that spot in that binomial. And so, because we have an x squared, somewhere along the line, we multiplied x times x, okay? If that had been x to the third, then we would be x to the first times x to the second somewhere, but it's not. It's x to the second, and so that means that we had x to the first times x to the first. That's how you get the party started. We start here, and the question is, what number times itself gives you x squared? There's only one possibility. It's x to the first times x to the first. So we're pretty sure we know how these two binomials get started. The second clue comes from, in this stage, the last number. And again, the question is, let me change the color coding there, that's red. The question is, what did we multiply to get plus 5? And so that's our decision making. We need to figure out what number goes here and what number goes here that gives us plus 5. Well, Chargers, what are the factors of 5? It's a prime number. It's 1 and 5. So we can go ahead and put, 1 and 5 here. And then there's one last clue, right? And the last clue is this, okay? What operation is going to occur here? Oops. Let me redo that. What operation is going to occur here in here? And if you look, we have a plus and a plus. That middle term, 6x, right? When it says plus 6x plus 5, just so you know, Chargers, that means that it was a plus and a plus that gave you that. And so that's how you go through the process of doing this, of factoring out a trinomial, right? So the answer is x plus 1 times x plus 5.